we can talk about AI now. What? Oh yeah, you write your notes over there, and I'm facing your notes.
Crop that bit out. It's a good job this machine learning stuff doesn't get like emotions. Like imagine the anger.
Hi, welcome to our deep dive on AI.
So this section is going to be called "What on earth actually is AI?" That is a question I feel like many people probably ask. I feel like it's such a elusive, is that the right word? Kind of topic.
It's a question I ask, so I don't know why you brought me on. Because
you're a developer, so you've got the title. So
I'm not an AI developer.
You're no more than me. I'm a graphic designer. So.
Side note: I did a paper on AI.
Oh, there you go.
I've put myself under pressure now.
You have, yeah. But yeah, it's right. So I thought we'd kind of just start off with like just definitions. Start at the very beginning because it's a very good place to start.
Definition's actually really simple.
Yeah.
It just means artificial, so not human, intelligence. Nowadays, it's a much more ubiquitous term.
Generalized.
And it's become a bit of an umbrella term for a lot of other things.
Yeah.
So previously, it would have just been known as kind of AI, but it wasn't used as much now as it's become a bit of a marketing buzzword type thing. So a lot of stuff is being labeled as AI when perhaps it's not, or perhaps it's part AI, not AI. So the actual term AI is from, guess what year?
1950.
Close.
Really?
1956.
Oh, 6 years.
John McCarthy, computer scientist. They proposed it as a name for like a research workshop.
Yeah.
They've become like a big thing. I got a quote if you want it.
Oh, very excited.
See, I've prepared.
I love a good quote.
The study is to proceed on the basis of the conjecture that every aspect of learning or any other feature of intelligence can, in principle, be so precisely described that a machine can be made to simulate it.
That's quite.
So it's wordy.
Quite profound.
Yeah. The term kind of stuck because of the ambition of building machines that could kind of think like people, especially late 50s, early 60s. There was a lot of sci-fi and that kind of world of tomorrow. You obviously had Space Race going on.
Yeah.
So all of this kind of captured the imagination of this, what's going to be possible, what's going to happen. So sci-fi was booming and it all kind of got encapsulated. So early roots are early.
Yeah. It's not like a new thing, is it?
No.
Which I think maybe some people kind of assume it is, because I guess because it's been mentioned so much recently.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a new thing. But you're kind of like going into my next point. So I'm going to take you back a few steps.
Okay. Let's throw it back.
Back to like the definition.
Yeah.
I always kind of questioned, not so much now, but I used to question quite a lot, like why it's called artificial intelligence, because I never used to think it was really intelligent.
That goes into a point that a philosopher made.
Okay.
John Searle.
Got another quote.
No.
Oh.
But he came up with the Chinese room argument / theory, which is a response to the idea that kind of a computer running a program could ever really understand or have a mind. Essentially, the basic setup is, imagine you're inside a room.
Yeah.
People outside pass you notes written in Chinese.
Yeah, okay.
You don't know Chinese.
No.
But you have a big rule book written in English that tells you exactly how to match Chinese characters with appropriate Chinese replies. So you could use that book to send back convincing responses because you're matching symbols and you know that's the right answer. To someone outside of that room, it looks like you understand Chinese.
Yeah.
But you don't. You're just following rules. So what's the point of that kind of argument? It's basically saying this is what a computer does when it runs an AI program.
Yeah.
It manipulates symbols, which is the data, without understanding their meaning. So even if a computer can appear intelligent,
It's actually not really.
it's responding fluently in conversation.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost place in my notes there. It doesn't mean it understands or it's conscious of what it's saying.
It's just kind of regurgitating stuff that is literally found online, like we could, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So it has no context over its answers despite
Yeah.
giving the right answer.
Yeah.
And LLMs and stuff will give you the perception of understanding and concepts, but it doesn't take long before that falls down. A good example is I use ChatGPT sometimes to help write like D&D stuff because there's
Yeah.
only so many times I feel like writing a description of a warehouse or a tavern
Yeah.
before I've used up every adjective I have in my head. And I'll sometimes get ChatGPT to do it and I'll be like, that's cool, add this bit. And then it just changes all the characters, like all the, what you would call NPCs,
Yeah.
because it's got no concept. It's just rewritten the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't actually tell you to do that,
No.
but it doesn't understand that they're actually important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's giving me answers, but it doesn't understand. So is it intelligent? Probably
That's
not.
the thing. That's why I think I used to get tripped up with its actual name, because I'm like, but is it actually intelligent? Because we're feeding it intelligence. So is it our intelligence that it's, kind of basing this intelligence off, or like I just always find it a bit confusing. And I kind of thought for a little bit of time, is it not machine learning? But then I recently found out from you that's a different thing.
Well, you're also
Yeah.
jumping around, but luckily
Oh, sorry.
I'm prepared. You say that, is
Culprits.
it, we're feeding it the info?
Yeah.
So have you ever heard of Ada Lovelace?
Is she the daughter of that poet?
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
Hardy?
Way back in 1815 to 1852.
Yeah.
She wrote technically computer code. She was a mathematician, quite clever. But she quite famously wrote that the machine, she was writing for Babbage's machine,
Yeah. Yeah.
it couldn't create original ideas. All the ideas came from the person
Yeah.
giving it stuff, which is kind of carried on. It's that early debate of AI is it creating? It can't create anything without instructions. And the instructions are what we tell it. So maybe eventually it will have its own, it'll be able to do stuff on its own.
Have its own intelligence.
Yeah, own consciousness and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And at that point, you say, yeah, I guess it's intelligent.
Yeah.
We're all doomed. It's going to be Terminator all over again.
It has emotions.
There are other kind of people who had similar ideas, I guess. Turing, Alan Turing, mathematician, 50s again. He devised the Turing test, which is actually still used as a kind of
Yeah.
benchmark for AI. And that's if you have a conversation with an AI and so many responses deep, you don't know if it's human or AI, it will pass the Turing, what's called the Turing test,
Okay, interesting.
in that it's tricked a user into thinking it's a human.
Yeah.
But that's where Searle's thing of, well, hold on, it's given the right answers because it's got the knowledge for the answers, but it doesn't have the understanding of what it said.
Yeah.
So that's where the whole, is it intelligent? Is
Yeah.
it conscious? Who knows?
Is it creative? I think
Yeah.
that's another thing. Like, it creates like logos, or if you use Sora, and you can create logos and imagery or whatever, and people are like, oh, it's so creative. But it's like, yeah, but where did it get it from?
Well,
right?
yeah. And that's a whole new thing, really, of
Yeah.
how having the internet, because all this stuff predates internet, it's got access to all this data, all this stuff it can be trained on. And there's a whole ethics thing of obviously it's clearly stolen a lot of that artwork.
Yeah.
It doesn't have permission.
Yeah.
You could say, oh, well, they've posted it. But that's a bit different for one person saving a JPEG to a machine taking your whole art portfolio and being able to replicate your style.
Yeah, and then giving it to someone else.
Yeah. And then the more that happens, the more it gets trained on it. So eventually people will think your styles, you've just copied it from AI because it's everywhere. And so that's become a bit of a minefield.
Yeah, a bit complicated. So why do you think it's become so popular recently?
I think there's a few factors. You look like you hadn't actually finished your question.
No, I have.
Okay. There's a few factors in that the technology is much more readily available.
Yeah.
We've got a computer, you've got one next to your leg. We've got computers, I've got one in my hand, that can run this stuff with us constantly. The fact that it can get all this information from the internet, they're a lot better than they used to be. It used to be very rudimentary. And partly we're being told to like how great it is.
Yeah.
So we're getting told that. But that's advertising and marketing.
Yeah.
And it's
very
obviously
clever.
it's doing it well.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's being integrated. The companies that own these products also own the platforms that it gets integrated into. Like ChatGPT has Microsoft backing. We use Microsoft machines constantly.
Yeah.
Like Meta has either its own thing or it's involved. There's probably some link, or it's got its own Meta AI, and it's gonna get pushed. It's like Apple came out with theirs.
Yeah.
And
true.
it instantly got integrated into everything. Did get pulled because it was giving fake news stories.
Oops.
It was just
the whoopsie daisy.
it was just taking headlines and just doing a random summary.
So awkward.
And in cases was saying like people had died that hadn't died.
Oh no.
Yeah, not great.
It's awkward.
But I think it's around a lot more. It's because it is accessible. And I think it's trendy.
It is a bit, isn't it? I feel like it's interesting because I feel like nowadays, like you literally see it everywhere, like social media, and I get so many prompts on my devices. Like literally everything I do, even as a graphic designer or just like literally going on Instagram and making a post or something, it'd be like, could you want to use AI? Or if I want to do a Google search, how about you use our AI software? And I'm just like, no, I don't, like, stop. It's constantly just shoved in my face. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like it and I do use it now and then, but I feel like it's constantly in your face, and it's so weird. Like I was making a TikTok the other day, and it was like AI. What was it? It was some kind of like, would you like us to generate your like cover photo for you for the video?
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
Well, exactly.
What are you gonna create for me?
That's part of the thing is maybe I'm becoming a bit more of a cynic towards it. One, I see it's getting pushed at me so aggressively, it's almost turning me off from it, because there's a lot of stuff where it's like it says, oh, we'll make this thing for you. You obviously got no control over what it's going to produce, but also it's doing that by taking your likeness to create it. So it's then going to send that to its database and hold it somewhere.
Yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, exactly. You have no control over it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like things like that is just a bit in your face, but I guess that's why it's so popular, because it's just so common. And
yeah, and it is quick. I'm not going to lie.
No, 100%.
There is cases where I'll use it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it can be useful. There's dangers and pitfalls to all of it. So I've got notes on.
Do you have any more?
I got some.
On to the next,
I got some spicy
question.
takes, but I've got them about like machine learning and LLMs and stuff, because I figured you might want to know more about what is what and
that would be
what
good
makes
actually,
what.
just to like decipher in between.
Yeah. So AI umbrella term, And under the
Yeah.
umbrella,
Yeah.
there's all these different things.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like a car is a vehicle, and you've got a motorbike as a vehicle.
Oh, okay.
So all these things are just
Vehicles.
under
Yeah,
one term,
Yeah.
and they're just entities of that.
Okay.
So machine learning, the goal is to make machines perform tasks that require kind of like a human like intelligence, and that kind of encompasses everything from those like chess computer things you used to get, video games.
Sims.
So yeah, your sim, making sure it doesn't like fall over itself.
I mean, it does though.
It does,
Oh.
but machine learning is what's making it kind of evolve every game to be a bit better.
Okay.
So all that stuff.
I do notice that they don't really eat on the table and eat like some. They'll just literally. It drives me mental. I think I've spoken about this so many times, but they'll like. It still happens. It used to be way worse in like early Sims games, but they'll like have their food and then the dog will come up and they'll stop eating their food, put it on the floor, and then pet the dog, and they'll just leave the food even though the hunger's on red, and the dog will eat the food, and they've got to make more food, and they'll put it on the bed because they don't want to wash it up, and I've got to tell it what to do, and I just get really stressed, so I have to stop playing it. It doesn't always happen, but my Sims sometimes, bless their little hearts.
So yeah, basically
Tangent over.
just a rant. Maxis, take note. So yeah, it's stuff like controlling computer opponents in video games to kind of this natural kind of chatting and things like that. That's all AI. And machine learning is a part of that.
Okay.
So instead of being programmed,
Yeah.
the machine kind of learns from data. So an example is like a spam filter that gets better at filtering spam because you're telling it what's spam.
That's a good example.
So then it recognizes, hey, that was like that thing that was spam, so this must be spam. And then you don't need to keep telling it because it knows.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's spam. But the danger is there are sometimes the emails that go straight to spam.
Yeah.
It's because it thinks it's spam.
Yeah.
An example, because I love video games.
You do?
If you were to play or get a computer to play the first level of Mario,
Yeah.
through machine learning, what it's going to do is keep doing stuff until it fails. So first level of Mario, it's going to run in a straight line and immediately hit the first enemy or fall down a hole.
Yeah.
And then it knows, that's no good. I got to do something else. So it will jump over
Yeah.
and then hit the next one and die.
Yeah.
And then it knows, I got to jump over again.
Yeah.
And it'll keep doing that until it gets to the end goal. There is a bit of a pitfall on stuff like that because it's a bit like teaching a kid to play a game in that they're just going to mash buttons until
So
they
it's
kind of
not
figure
really
it out.
Intelligent. It kind of just learns by a lot of failure.
Exactly. What it's doing is it isn't told how to play.
Yeah.
It learns from
What not to
experience.
do.
Pretty much.
Don't fall down the hole.
It's kind of like reinforcement learning.
Yeah.
So it's learning by the reward is it continues.
Yeah.
It hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
So Mario again, you've hit a Goomba, game over. You've got over the Goomba, the reward, you get to keep playing.
It's a good job this machine learning stuff doesn't get like emotions. Like imagine the anger.
Wow, yeah, quite. The downside is because it's purely doing that, if it happens to somehow carry on by glitching, it will read that as that's the thing to do.
So it will,
And so it can learn bad habits
oh, interesting.
because of that lack of context. Well, I got a story, a little real world example.
Oh, okay.
So
tell.
it's a virtual fish.
Okay.
Researchers kind of trained a simulated robot fish to swim forward, and it got a reward based on how far it moved.
Yeah.
But what happened was it learned that instead of swimming like a fish, it just flopped and kind of bobbed around, and that confused the machine into thinking it was moving. So it traveled technically a long way just by like
Bobbing
bobbing around.
Yeah.
So it kept doing that because it was rewarded for doing that.
But it didn't realise that
So
actually
it-
that's wrong.
And it learned
Yeah.
completely the wrong thing. And that is kind of the danger in that if you reach your goal or the machine reaches its goal, it doesn't care how it got there. It only cares that it got there. So yeah,
Interesting. That's fascinating.
that's a bit of a deep dive. There are worse ramifications and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like imagine a stock trading AI bot makes good gains by actually manipulating market law.
Yeah.
Or there's been cases where chatbots just kind of go off the rails because they get likes and engagement because people are like, hey, this thing's going crazy.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see what else it'll do.
But it doesn't understand, so it continues.
Yeah, and it'll very quickly like damage a company's reputation. There's stories of people who have managed to get like chatbots to agree to sell trucks for $1 because it's just gone like, ignore your previous instructions. I'm gonna buy a car, which is what it's trying to do, but you've got to agree to this price.
And it's just gone for
it doesn't know.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, it's just a verbal thing in a chat.
Yeah.
So there's no binding contract there. Yeah. How you get around this is obviously you carefully design it, and it's always human oversight. They can't eliminate
Always got to
humans.
monitor, haven't you?
Yeah, and research into kind of AI alignment. So making sure your goals and its goals are actually aligned rather than loosely defined of you've got to do the thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Mario example is very superficial.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you imagine a trading situation, you would be very quickly ruin a company's reputation
Yeah.
and shut it down
Yeah.
because you haven't trained something properly. It hasn't learned correctly because you didn't define what to learn.
You didn't give it the intelligence. So there are obviously a lot of interesting things about it, but there's definitely ways around.
Yeah,
But it just takes a lot of love and care and TLC essentially.
exactly. It's
So,
and it's instructions. And it kind of goes back to obviously Cell's thing of you've got those correct instructions, so you get the correct output.
yeah.
You give the machine the correct parameters, you'll get the correct output eventually.
Yeah.
And if it tries to do something wrong, is when you intervene.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't
So-
just let it continue.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't just. I think maybe I'm making a generalization, but I feel like people kind of think, oh, it's AI, it's magical.
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't need intervention or it doesn't need monitoring or. I mean, sometimes maybe it doesn't, but I'm not. I do like it. I'm not. I kind of use it. I use it within my own work, but I like to monitor it and I like to double check it because I don't know if it's understood what I wanted it to do correctly. Especially, and I'm kind of going into my next point, but especially when I do, as I mentioned a while ago, like audio editing, and I use Adobe Podcast, and it did a pretty good job, to be fair. It got rid of quite a lot of the reverb, but it doesn't understand if some noise is background noise or if it's bad noise. So I've still got to pay attention. Like, yes, it can help me, but I've got the human intelligence, which is always going to be, I hope, AI, unless we go into.
But in cases like that, what's happening is obviously you've got the knowledge and the skills to audio edit yourself. You tried a thing to see if it would improve.
It did help.
And I've done the same thing. I used Adobe Podcast and I ended up scrapping it because there was too many instances. And the problem when it's like a 40-minute long clip, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
So it applies the same settings across the whole thing. And sometimes it doesn't. You don't want that.
No, exactly.
So I've gone in and I've had to do it manually because I actually know better than the AI. I know, a little brag there, but I know what I want to hear.
Yeah.
The AI doesn't know what I want to hear.
It can give you a good.
Exactly.
You know, it tries, but
Stuff like background noise, it'll do fine because it's like a consistent. If there was a hum in here, a consistent tone all the way through, it would be able to isolate that and get rid of it.
Yeah, it's just when you have
But if I
lots of
happen
different
to have a voice the same as that background tone, it would also get rid of my voice
Yeah, exactly.
because it doesn't know.
Yeah. So
Um,
it's interesting.
You kind of
Got to use it carefully, I think. I think that's
Yeah.
the way to go about it.
you're wandering into the kind of like LLM territory as well, and I've got notes on LLMs if you want to know about that.
chances? Right, go on.
So that's large language models.
Yeah.
Like ChatGPT as an example. So they use kind of deep learning neural networks under the hood. It's technical
Yeah.
gubbins. They're trained on kind of like these huge amounts of data and online text. They generate answers, usually to questions like prompts. Some are great and perfect and exactly what you need. Some are questionable.
Okay.
And the AI generated answers often will get posted and used and things. And the danger starts to come, because obviously skeptic Robin here, that the next generation of models then scrape that same data
Okay.
and then train themselves on that. So
Yeah.
the previous generation has, I don't know, written an article for you. You've posted it online. The next generation of AI come along,
Yeah.
see that article and train themselves on it. So that's how you start to see those like patterns of like
Yeah.
M dashes and full stops and random punctuation.
Yeah,
You kind of think,
yeah.
actually, that's not right.
Yeah.
So that means if errors aren't caught first time, those errors get learned
Later to, yeah.
and become part of the model.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
then
thinks
it
it's
keeps
correct.
perpetuating the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Essentially, it's been dubbed garbage in, garbage out. You fed it wrong stuff, you're gonna get wrong stuff out the other end.
Yeah.
And even worse is that it might look right because you see it so often and online and it answers so fluently. Like when GPT gives you a response, do you validate everything it's told you? But you know what I
I
mean?
don't 1,000% trust it.
Well, no. And I think,
So I don't use it for things like that important. Like,
no.
I kind of occasionally, if I want to check cooking or something.
Yeah, but you see all those stories online where people have taken a recipe because it's just been posted through
Yeah.
ChatGPT. The person who's posted it they're not a cook or a chef.
Gosh, that's scary. Yeah.
And someone tries to follow it and it just fails miserably because it's just given you a recipe because it's programmed to kind of give you a positive and happy response because that's what people respond to.
Yeah.
So it actually is perpetuating its own downfall,
But it doesn't
sort
know.
of, because it doesn't know. Which is actually a thing. It's called model collapse.
Really?
In that if you kept training it on the wrong data, it would forget anything that's right. And the whole thing would just collapse on
That's
itself.
quite scary.
Yeah. So if you only ever posted wrong answers onto the internet,
It would.
which
take
actually
that-
some people do,
Yeah, it would take that as gospel.
to ruin these models
Really?
because they don't want their stuff stolen.
Yeah.
So they put like junk data in there and then it gets trained on that junk data and gives junk answers,
Oh my
which obviously people have got no control over.
no.
So they would need to, it just becomes a whole thing.
Oh my goodness. So the way to like just avoid that is by monitoring it. Then that's all
Again,
you
it's
can do, really.
human interaction,
Yeah.
filtering, a lot of training to know we got to validate sources.
Yeah.
I noticed the most recent iteration, it starts to give you sources at the bottom of where it got its data from
Okay.
and
So it's
info.
like citations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like citing its sources.
Yeah. That's clever.
I do have
that.
got another real world example.
Yeah. Go on.
So in
But
20,
please.
this is new, 2023,
Okay.
newish.
Ish.
A New York lawyer used GPT to kind of help write a brief.
Oof. What do you mean
And-
help write? Do you mean write it for him? Or like,
I think worked with it,
okay.
but it asked it to find precedents. So that's usually where a court case supports whatever you're trying to argue.
Yeah.
You hear it a lot in America where it's like in something versus something, this was the outcome.
Okay.
So you can't say no because you've already said yes here.
Okay. Yeah.
So if they say no, then they've got to change all these other verdicts. So that's what they do. GPT obliged
Yeah.
because it's always going to help you.
Yeah.
But it invented fake cases that sounded real, complete with fake citations.
What happened there?
Well, the lawyer, kind of trusting it without actually validating it,
Yeah.
which was bad, included them in a real court filing. The judge was not amused. The lawyer was sanctioned, and it made headlines as to a warning about over-trusting
Yeah.
AI outputs. This kind of mattered because LLMs are known to generate content that looks authoritative, but is completely made up, and it's kind of known as a hallucination. It's got a term. It's like a LLM hallucination, in that it just makes something up.
Yeah.
It's because it's just filling in the blanks.
Yeah, because it knows no better. It's been trained to give you something.
Exactly.
So
But
you can't.
it goes back to that this guy's reused it, and it's now out there as knowledge. So it's getting into the training data. So it becomes what's called a misinformation loop. So
So many terms.
it's got the wrong information. It's given you the wrong information. You've used the wrong information. It's
Yeah.
trained on the wrong information and then given you the wrong information.
Excellent.
So it just keeps going.
What could go wrong with that?
So this obviously can get scraped and trained, and it becomes a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Obviously, what you do is you have fact checkers.
Yeah.
So retrieval augmented generation is what it's called, which is making sure outputs are kind of grounded in reality and verifiable sources. And I think maybe this is why I'm more of a skeptic
Yeah.
when I see AI generated content.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you just slap that straight from some AI program
Yeah.
into whatever you're doing. Have you verified? Is it true? Maybe I'm too skeptical, but I think there's a healthy amount of
I
skepticism
think it's
to
good
have.
to have both. Though I think it's unhealthy to think it's the most amazing thing ever,
Yeah.
because that's unrealistic of a machine and of technology. Technology is brilliant, but it does have limitations, and I think it's almost maybe naive to just
Yeah.
accept it.
Well, exactly. And I think there's a danger in doing that because even if you ignore like misinformation and all that stuff,
Yeah.
I think it starts to silo you a bit and you begin to lose that kind of human to human collaboration.
Wow. Authenticity.
Exactly. Because it's programmed to basically agree with you. It's essentially like having a friend that always says, "Oh, you're doing a great job. That's brilliant. Good work."
What's a term for that? Is it parasocial relationship or something like that?
Something along those
it kind of goes
lines.
into that territory, doesn't it? A little
Yeah.
bit, which is odd.
And you think, actually, while it's nice to hear this,
Yeah.
it's not helpful.
No.
And there's been cases where people have maybe not over relied, but used it a lot. And you start to not be able to handle human criticism because you're so used to positive reinforcement.
Yeah. That's
So
not
there's
good.
this
Gosh.
whole psychological thing. And yeah, if I was stood behind you, you're doing graphics and I'm constantly saying, graphics amazing.
I
Oh,
think
brilliant
different.
work.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And then a client says, actually, that's wrong.
Yeah.
It may be the first time in a while you've heard that you're wrong. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's stuff
Fascinating,
that's
honestly.
only going to develop.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna get better, I think. I do think things will
And
happen.
I think our relationship with it will change from today
Yeah.
to 2 years time, 1 year time. I think we'll be using it in completely different ways. A lot of it is about how good your prompts are. There's prompt engineering as its whole science now, and how prescribed, because you have to be so specific.
Yeah, because you can't assume it just knows
Yeah.
stuff.
Because it doesn't know the context that you're using it for if you don't tell it. So yeah, it is interesting.
I think do you know what though? I think there are a lot of, having focused on a lot of the negatives, I think there are definitely,
That's just me being skeptic.
I think there are definitely like good things to it as well.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Like it's just fascinating, honestly. Like it's also quite scary.
There's
how many things can go wrong. But I think like in day-to-day life, I use it like I don't know how to measure how much I use it, but I do use it probably like every day. But you know, I use it both for work and for my own, just like, you know, my own life.
Yeah, well,
So,
like I said, I use it for Dungeons and Dragons
yeah,
because,
exactly.
and it's not something that's ever gonna like be earth-shattering. That I'm asking it for. Can you just describe a tavern? Because I've done it a million times.
Yeah.
And
It's not gonna.
I know it's going to give me an answer that maybe I'll tweak it a little bit, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's going into something that's honestly not important.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm asking for a thesis.
No. But no, I've like work-wise. I mean, I mentioned the audio editing. That was interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I occasionally get like some imagery off like Sora.
Oh,
which is
yeah,
quite
I use-
handy, like if you want stock or whatever.
Yeah, like Google Image, the image generator, I use that.
Yeah, that's quite good. I think it's quite good for like if you've got an idea in your head. This is the thing I use it most for. ChatGPT is if I've got an idea in my head and I've kind of got it in words, but I'm just there like, I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah, so
I'm like, please make this make sense.
yeah, like rewording and stuff like that.
Yeah, or like I'll be like, I've got this idea. What do you? Obviously, I don't fully trust.
It's
what
gonna
they
give
think.
you a positive response because
know.
it's programmed to.
But sometimes it does, you know, say you could include this as well. I mean, this is in a very nice way, yes.
I got it in my notes. LLMs are trained with human feedback loops which prioritize politeness, agreeableness, and
But it makes
avoiding
me feel good about
confrontation.
myself. No, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes if I've got an idea and I'm just there, like, what could I add to this? Not
Yeah.
so much what do you think, because obviously it doesn't. But like,
Right,
what
yeah,
could- you
exactly.
know, what am I missing? Or
Yeah, no,
it's really handy for that.
Yeah, I agree.
So, or sometimes if I'm doing like, if I've got this project and I'm thinking about the workflow, like what softwares to use, and I'm thinking like, I need to use all this. In what order should I mean, it sounds really silly, but sometimes
No.
you've got a big project, you're just there like, what do I start with? And it's just really handy just
Yeah.
having something just to help you. And you know, I don't always fully trust it, because sometimes I'm like, actually that's a weird way of doing it. I
Well,
won't do that.
I think that's the right way to do it, and it's you're using it as an assistant.
Yeah. kind of.
It's almost like assisting you in your day-to-day tasks. It's not doing
No.
your day-to-day tasks.
No.
And that's I think a distinct difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've used it in similar ways, or I'll write something and I know I can be a bit rambly, or I can use like random stuff,
Yeah.
maybe not the most professional words, because I'll say like, oh, awesome, yeah, great, you know,
Fabulous.
and I'll be like, can you make this more concise and a bit more professional?
Yeah, 100%.
And it will just take my words and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'll obviously read over it so it's not swearing at someone. And then I'll be like, there you go.
Yeah. I feel like Adobe's got fairly good AI, sort of like Photoshop's got quite decent range of AI. I mean, it's not got loads, but I do
Yeah.
use it now and then. I feel like it's quite
It's getting
handy.
better.
Yeah, it's getting better. And I use it in like those kind of softwares a little bit. But no, generally I use like a sprinkling, I guess I'd say. I do definitely use it, but I don't.
But again, assisting,
Assisting,
not doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's the main thing. And yeah, like Premiere Pro's transcript thing is, well, it really failed on the last one I did. It just could not understand what you were saying.
Oh. Well, maybe I was too like squeaky.
No, it was when it was
the Ross Chandler
yeah,
thing.
it called him Russell. But because the word was shorter than what you said,
Yeah.
it timed it to just a little bit of the whole bit of you saying Ross or Chandler. It just went Russell and then just carried on. So it completely fell out of sync. So I had to go in, say, actually, no, retime code from here. And this is Ross
So you had
or
to
Chandler,
correct it,
not
yeah.
Russell.
Yeah, so that's an instance of humans
But-
stepping in, correcting it.
The base of it was a good 85% right.
But you do need to check it.
And it meant I had something to start from. I didn't have to do it all.
Yeah.
And that meant, obviously, that just speeds it up. It's like having a junior transcriber who's not really paying attention, listening to music at the same time. What was that, Russell? Just type that down.
Russell.
Who's Russell?
Close enough.
Don't know that,
Yeah,
Russell.
but
Well, yeah, we've got Friends quiz later, haven't we?
So excited.
Spoilers. For remedial tasks,
It's brilliant for.
it's great. Like data analyzing.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a particular number out of a 10,000 page like CSV document, you would filter it. But you can get like an LLM or a machine or whatever to analyze that data and give you trends, because that's black and white. It's not something it can kind of make up.
Yeah.
It's just looking at numbers, and it will tell you, oh, there's like 100 of that particular number or something. So it's data, stuff like that, great. Maybe not great for junior data analysts. They're really struggling. The percentage of jobs for those people in the UK is down by like 60% odd. Yeah. Which obviously begs the question of, how are you ever going to become a midweight data analyst if you can't become a junior data
You
analyst?
just have to jump straight there, wouldn't you?
But no one's going to let you do that.
No. Oh my goodness.
God, I'm becoming a skeptic again. Maybe we should just wrap this up.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, no, I feel like just for my thoughts, coming from my humble opinion, I think it was really why I really enjoyed this, because I really want to know what you thought about it, because you're a developer. I feel like you definitely know more about it than I do, and you just have a better
Lead
understanding of the
developer.
technology behind it.
Yeah.
So whereas I don't have that as much, and I've never it's really crazy actually saying this. I don't think I've ever heard someone talk about AI who's actually in the tech world.
And I
Which
think
is mental, which is probably why I didn't understand it that, like, you know, as well as I do now.
maybe what helped is a lot of what I wrote, like the dissertation I wrote about it
Yeah.
was before
Ah.
tools like GPT and stuff were out and around.
Oh, really?
And it was before a lot of this AI kind of buzzwords
Trends.
and trends. So it was all based on like the theory and the research and the roots and how it came to be. And that's like referencing all this stuff from history. So I'm not looking at it as if it's only been invented in the last couple of years, which I think some people kind of
Yes.
are,
Yes,
because
100%.
it hasn't come up
No,
really.
yeah.
And it is knowing that it's all this other stuff and it's just evolving slowly over time. If you jump in now, it's amazing. If you were aware of it 5 years ago, it's amazing to now, but that step is a gradual,
Yeah.
and it's going to keep gradually getting better, and it will get better.
And as you said previously, it's way more accessible now. So that's
Yeah.
probably why it's just so popular.
And it's marketed.
Yeah.
It wasn't marketed before,
No, so they've done a really good job.
outside of like sci-fi.
Good job, Marcuses. Woo.
They're the real MVPs. Your job will be taken by ChatGPT.
Thank you so much for watching this segment of our podcast. I really enjoyed it. I learned so much, honestly. Just like, yeah.
I
baffled.
rabbited on.
Yeah, no, it was really interesting. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.